Cartoon Cat V2 was released on May 11th of this year and is directed by Kenneth YT and TOK. Now, I actually heard about this mod through Gorefield V2 with the collab song Balls of Yarn, and when I went to look it up, at first I found out that it actually wasn't even out yet, so I just decided to wait it out. Since Gorefield and Cartoon Cat were supposed to be sister mods, I couldn't imagine them being released all that far apart. And Cartoon Cat actually ended up releasing 2 months later than Gorefield, and it certainly has a lot of similarities to Gorefield, so you have to forgive me for comparing the two. Before we get to all that though, why don't we cover Cartoon Cat and his relation to Trevor Henderson? Trevor Henderson is a Canadian horror artist that was born on April 11th of 1986, and was interested in horror and monsters from a young age. His father introduced him to the genre and has been supportive of his work along with Trevor's mother. Trevor is best known for his work on Siren Head and Cartoon Cat, with Siren Head being at the center of the attention frenzy between 2018 and 2020. In 2018, Siren Head was the main antagonist of a game where the player had to go searching out for a missing hiker. When the hiker was found, it chased the player until they managed to escape. In 2020, Markiplier and Jacksepticeye both played the game and caused Siren Head to become a craze overnight. The Siren Head craze is actually how I personally found out about Trevor's work, but in sort of a roundabout way. There was this channel called Clark Titor, which at the time I didn't realize was just stealing Trevor's work, but he would throw up the image for the creature and narrate the text or the caption that went along with it. The channel has since switched its content to some kind of police footage channel. It wasn't much later until I found out who Trevor was and about the universe and creatures that he had created. Most of my favorites, thankfully, are given some kind of representation in this mod. First of which being the main man of the hour himself, Cartoon Cat. Cartoon Cat was inspired by another piece of iconic horror abandoned by Disney, which is why Cartoon Cat is so closely related with early cartoons. This is also related to how he reaches our world. He has to be filtered through old media, which implies that he manifests through televisions and specifically through cartoon animations. It has never been confirmed, as anyone has never seen the show and not become one of Cartoon Cat's victims. It's also important to note that he doesn't actually have a body. He uses his cartoon body as a way to make his victims feel familiar and comfortable around him. The facade only slips when he is about to horrifically slaughter his victims. Cartoon Cat is the most evil and malevolent creature that Henderson has created, as well as being the most powerful. It is possible to get rid of him, however. Henderson himself mentions here that Cartoon Cat uses people's knowledge of him as a sort of passageway to get here, which means he relies on word of him spreading to get here. This may give a reason as to why he commits such abhorrent atrocities. The word of mouth will spread to give him unlimited access to get here.
What's your emergency?
Hi. Yes, I need help. It's my husband. He came home really late tonight, and he's acting strange. We got into an argument, and now I'm scared.
Okay, ma'am, I need you to stay calm. What exactly is he doing that's making you feel like this?
I don't know how to explain it. He's just not himself. It's like he's moving in a weird way, and his eyes, they're not right, and he's saying things, horrible things.
Okay,
We have a daughter. She just turned 9 yesterday. I don't want anything to happen to her because of him.
Alright, are you and your daughter safe right now?
She's in her room sleeping, but I don't know what to do. I'm worried about her. And I'm worried about myself.
Okay, we're sending officers to your location right away. Can you tell me if there are any weapons in the house?
No, we don't have any weapons, Please hurry. I'm really scared.
Help is on the way. Just stay on the line with me until they arrive. Can you lock yourself in a room and stay there until the officers get there?
Yes, okay. I'll go lock myself in the bedroom. Please tell them to hurry.
They're on their way. Just try to stay calm and stay safe. While we wait for the officers to arrive, can you tell me if your husband has a history of any mental health issues or substance abuse?
No, he's never had any mental health issues or substance abuse problems before. This is completely out of character for him.
Alright, I understand. Has he been under any unusual stress or experiencing any significant life changes recently?
Not that I'm aware of. Everything seemed fine until tonight. He just came home acting different.
Okay, thank you for providing that information. It helps us understand the situation better. Can you describe to me in more detail what exactly he's saying and doing?
He's speaking in a really harsh tone, saying things that he would never say, especially not in front of our daughter. And his movements, they're jerky and erratic. It's like he's not fully in control of himself.
I see. And has he been physically aggressive towards you or your daughter?
No, not yet. But I'm afraid he might escalate. That's why I called for help.
You did the right thing by calling. We're going to do everything we can to ensure you're...
Hello? Is something wrong?
Excuse me. Give me a minute. Hey, who's there? You shouldn't be here. Hey, what the hell are you doing?
Oh, thank God. Thought something had just happened and they weren't going to answer my call. Are you still there? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. What? What do you mean? I cannot help you. Look, whoever is there, respectfully, I don't have time for this right now. I need to know how long it'll take them to arrive. I'm so sorry. Are you fucking kidding me? We'll meet again someday. What? Called 911. No one has come for 3 fucking hours. I'm in the attic right now.
Lauren? I know you're there. Hey, calm down. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just had a bad day. I just want to talk, okay? Nothing else. Promise.
Okay.
As we can tell from that intro cutscene, Cartoon Cat has managed to kill the entire Henderson family except for the daughter, which means there is also no one who can put a stop to the creature anymore.
Do you like the place I chose? It's similar to the last time, but it's bigger, quieter, and abandoned. Perfect. Another rap battle. No, 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 little boyfriend. Things will change. Third time's the charm. I got you all alone now. No more games. It's time to finish what I've started. And no one will hear you scream.
Hey! I'm glad you like my property!
Huh?
Three, two, one, go!
So as we saw during the cutscene, Monster has canonically got shit rocked by Cartoon Cat. Also, I feel like now is as good a time as any to mention that the mod itself has biographies for all the creatures in the mod, so even though I've already told you who this is, I'll at least let you see the mod's bio for him. Cartoon Cat is a malevolent cosmic being whose appearance resembles the Rubber Hose cartoon of the 30s. He was one of the first 4 cryptids to reach the real world. It is not known exactly how, but it is known that Jen's death had something to do with it. Currently, he is the Army's top priority. Throughout the story, we never learn who Jen is, but I have a strong suspicion that she's the mother from our opening cutscene. Also, Cartoon Cat is known to reside in a mall, or at least be frequently spotted there, hence Cartoon Cat mentioning to Lemonhead Demon Monster that this is his property.
You've got guts, kid!
Okay. Since the deal was to let them go if the kid won, I guess I can go back to...
But you have to win 2 more rounds before I let you go with your little demon girl.
No, come on!
Alright, we've secured the target without it noticing us, and it seems like it's, I know this is gonna sound weird, but it's in a rap battle with a blue-haired midget. And ex-rap star Daddy Dearce's daughter is there too. We also found this humanoid creature with a lemon as its head. It looks a bit damaged. I don't think it will be a problem for us. Understood. Well guys, go and get everything prepared. We'll get to work soon. We're gonna lose at least half the team. But it will all be worth it when this Felix the Cat knockoff is destroyed.
The mission will fail. Reality will begin to tear apart, and the whole world will go to hell.
Michael, not now.
And it's all because of 2 idiots who challenged the Cartoon Cat into a rap battle.
Hey, calm down.
Can't you see, Daniel? We've lost almost everything we knew about this monster ever since it killed Trevor and the entire Henderson family. And you still think we have a chance against it?
That dream about that horse on the stairs is still affecting you, huh? Don't think about it too much. It's only a dream. Listen, when all of this is over, you'll return with your family and take a good rest. I'm a little worried about you.
Looks like we've got an audience.
Damn it. Cat's noticed us. Get ready.
Three, two, one, go!
It's impressive that the military thinks that they can take down Cartoon Cat with only half of their squad dying. This cutscene has also confirmed for us that the entire Henderson family died. Oh, and if you recognize the horse from Michael's dream, don't worry, we'll get to him shortly. Towards the end of the song, a new cartoon creature will join in behind Boyfriend. This is Cartoon Dog, which is an entirely different cartoon entity in a similar style to Cartoon Cat, which implies that these creatures are not just a single entity, but an entire race that exists in some dimension somewhere. Cartoon Dog is another cryptid that has relations to Cartoon Cat. Specifically, their species seem to align with one another. The two were once thought to be the same being, Cartoon Dog being an asset to Cartoon Cat's shape-shifting property. This is due to there being little to no difference between the two aside from appearance. Equinophobia is the fear of horses. Yeah, I'm sure you didn't at all see that coming. Despite the short cutscene, Boyfriend got knocked unconscious from Cartoon Cat dropping him. And here we get to meet the same creature that Michael had a dream about, this creature being named Longhorse. If you can't tell by now, Trevor Henderson is really creative with naming his cryptids. Longhorse is one of very few benevolent creatures that Henderson has created, along with Lil Nugget, who has been guiding us through the mod so far. Longhorse is made entirely out of bone with black strands of hair sparsely covering its body. People who have encountered Longhorse will frequently have some kind of disaster befall them soon after. Strangely enough, despite its intimidating appearance, Longhorse is merely a messenger. Longhorse wants to try to warn people before some sort of harm comes to them. Despite showing up only in dreams throughout the mod, there are other instances that suggest Longhorse can manifest into reality as well. Some people speculate that Longhorse is an angel sent by God. This is because, unlike other creatures, it cares about humans and serves as their protector. In Equinophobia, BF passes out and it enters his dream to warn him of what his decisions will look like, and due to BF's obsession with rap battles, it does so through a symphony.
this how it will end? It's just a bunch of cursed illustrations, they say. They can't hurt anyone. They aren't real. Now they're here. If only Mr. Trevor was still here, he could have prevented this cat and mouse game from getting this far. Reality is tearing apart. His most powerful creation is going to kill us all and we can't do anything about it. And who's this blue-haired rapper and his girlfriend they speak of? How is he mentally wrong to challenge something like the cartoon cat? Do they even know what they're dealing with? If he didn't challenge it into the stupid rap battle, all of this wouldn't have happened. Who? What? Who's there? How do you know all this stuff about me? You're scaring me. Wait. No.
Three, two, one, go!
Cartoon Cat was oh so graciously willing to let us have a third song, but if we lose, he will destroy everything in 24 hours. However, I actually lost this song once during recording, and he does in fact let you try again. Also, if you're curious, if you go back to that choice that he gives you and pick option 2, the girl we saw during the cutscene is Luna Henderson, the only living member of the Henderson family. Luna is a Canadian middle schooler who was adopted by a Hispanic couple after a weird incident in the year 2052 in which her entire family ended up dying. She is all that remains of the Henderson family. She aims to one day be able to stop the cartoon cat, but she'll have to figure out how to. I believe this weird incident is what we saw during the opening cutscene, where her mother was calling 911 because of her dad acting weird before her mother died to the cartoon cat. We now also know that the two cartoon entities aren't the only Trevor Henderson creatures out there, as Luna ran into Siren Head, who will have his time to shine shortly. Aside from all the story stuff, the song also gives us the return of Cartoon Dog, as both him and Cartoon Cat try their best to win against Boyfriend. This is by far the hardest song in the entire mod, and it is not even close. Between the difficult charting, the frequent flashes of white light screen shaking, and the meat notes, it is definitely not for inexperienced players, but if you've managed to beat Demise from Mario's Madness or Defeat from Among Us, you should have no issues.
That's all, folks. I guess. Don't you ever come back here again.
Oh. Well. Now what? Wait, what happened to my speakers? Oh, BF. There's no one here and we're in complete darkness. Can you turn off that voice changer on your mic and talk normally, please? You're kind of obsessed with that high-pitched voice, dude.
Fair. But what I wanted to say is, I think I saw them fall from the 3rd floor.
What?
Yeah, like a few minutes before that Halloween furry started his last song.
Those weren't even mine. They were my dad's.
Okay, we have a lot to talk about before we go into the second week. First, this cutscene implies that Cartoon Cat isn't really a malevolent being. You're trying to tell me that the most evil creature that Trevor Henderson has created would just make a deal like that and keep his word? You could make the argument that he did say he enjoyed watching humans tear their own world apart, but even if that were the case, him just kicking boyfriend and girlfriend out of the mall and being like, fucking see you later, losers, feels a little bit lazy. Like, this is the big bad of the Henderson universe, and he just wants to hibernate in a random fucking mall somewhere. The entire way that he spreads and manages to cross dimensions is from people knowing who he is. Also, not to spoil the rest of the mod, but that plot thread with the military trying to capture Cartoon Cat goes entirely unresolved for the rest of the mod. He kicks boyfriend and girlfriend out of the mall. That's the end of it. I guess you could assume that he killed all of them during That's All, folks, but I don't believe that personally. Secondly, this cutscene has committed one of the deadly Friday Night Funkin' sins, that being giving boyfriend a voice. And oh my god, could they have not made him sound more like a douchebag? I'm sorry, for me, this is similar to Link from The Legend of Zelda. Link makes a lot of general noises throughout the game, such as for swinging swords, throwing pots, or that time as a child when I was rolling all the way across Hyrule Field in Ocarina of Time. If they gave Link a voice in any official Zelda game, it would have to be absolutely phenomenal for me to give it a pass, and I feel very similarly here. I don't want to nitpick and hate too much, because this is a free mod from devs who just wanted to make a cool thing, but the decision to say that his voice is just a voice changer and then giving him spoken dialogue is absolutely baffling to me. Now, with all of that being said, I would like to draw your attention to something that we saw earlier. During that cutscene, we saw a QR code that said, "You'll need this for the second week." This is something that you'll notice a lot in this mod. During cutscenes, a QR code will flash up and give you something. In this case, that QR code will give us a zip file. My main problem with this is that while I was in the middle of just trying to play the mod, I had no idea how I could move this file that had just been downloaded to my phone onto my PC where I was playing the mod. The cord that I use to connect my PC to my phone and move files back and forth is very touchy and does not like to stay connected. And after a bit of fucking with it, I decided to try and find a download somewhere else. Thankfully, one of the devs has posted a mega link to download from. I also realized later that there are downloads for it on the homepage for the mod on Game Banana. Another way that you could get around this that I figured out on my second playthrough is that when you scan the QR code, you can copy the link and send it to somewhere else that you can access from your PC. For me, this was an unsuspecting victim on Discord. So thankfully, there are a lot of ways to get around this problem, but it is definitely infuriating on a first playthrough, and I think it could have been done significantly better. Unfortunately, this is not my only issue with this little minigame segment, so why don't we get into why I personally think this minigame is the weakest part of the entire mod. Our objective here is to gather 4 items while avoiding Cartoon Cat. Seems pretty simple, right? Well, there are a few things that make it not so simple. First thing to note, if you are near one of the 4 objects, an exclamation point will appear in the bottom left of the screen. Second, this game's stamina system makes no fucking sense. There's a bug that is extremely easy to replicate, that if you're sprinting and then suddenly stop, your stamina will continue draining. This is mildly problematic because when Cartoon Cat enters a room, you have to stand still and spam the spacebar to make him go away. But this costs stamina, which is a problem if all of your stamina just got devoured by this bug. Even worse, you can replicate this bug extremely easily by just sprinting into a screen transition. If you start moving, your stamina will stop draining. And since Cartoon Cat can spawn at any time, your best course of action is to simply walk all around the house looking for these items, which slows down the game a lot. I also went ahead and, for my own curiosity, found out what happens when you're in a room with Cartoon Cat and have no stamina. Nothing. Not a damn thing. It feels like something that was added 2 days before they decided to ship the mod, since this game is such a pain in the ass to access and has such noticeable bugs. And then there's another problem with the whole Cartoon Cat can appear at any time, which includes while you're actively interacting with things. I played through the minigame to try and get footage of me interacting with Trevor's body without getting interrupted before, on the 4th try, just giving up entirely. Cartoon Cat should be unable to spawn while you have a dialogue box open. It would break immersion a little bit, but so does Cartoon Cat not seeing me even though I'm standing out in the open with no stamina because God himself took it from me. Anyways, once you have the 4 items required, you can escape through the brown rectangle at the bottom of the kitchen. And the kitchen just so happens to also hold the last little bit of criticism that I have for the gameplay portion. What the actual fuck is the collision on this counter? I promise you, I'm holding down here. Luna is actively gliding on the counter. Once you leave, you'll be greeted by a cutscene. This is my last piece of major criticism. This single decision. Put yourself in my shoes. Back when I played this mod for the first time, after having escaped Cartoon Cat and being frustrated from the process of having to try and download this damn thing and getting frustrated from all of my problems, I actually try to play the damn thing to get here. Our two options are perhaps the meeting was cancelled or he lied. I first started considering what he lied might even mean. The sentence before this decision is talking about Trevor Henderson telling Luna that her parents left him in charge of her until tomorrow, which would mean he lied would in some way refer to Trevor lying, which definitely isn't true. Also, if Luna was referring to the parents that she's currently talking to, it would instead say he's lying, because we're currently talking to them. So I thought maybe because the dialogue option has perhaps in it, it means that Luna will doubt it, and of course doubt these people pretending to be her parents. However, when I picked that option, Luna ends up dying to the Cartoon Cat, and the game closes. I had assumed that since I finished the minigame, I could now move on to week 2. However, week 2 was still locked. So I went to somebody else's playthrough of the mod to see how to unlock week 2, and instead, they had chosen the he lied option and got a code. Having week 2 be locked behind one of two extremely vague decisions is just as baffling a decision as Boyfriend's voice acting earlier, especially when neither dialogue option is particularly clear with what you're saying or doing. However, I feel that it would be disingenuous if I didn't mention that after you beat That's All Folks, a notepad would open. But considering how annoying it was for me to even download it, I had already long forgotten what was on that notepad. I also do understand that this team is mostly of people who have learned English as a second language, so the language barrier is to be expected, but the dialogue and dialogue options for the end of the minigame specifically need some work. To wrap up the minigame section, I just want to say that the minigame just needs some polish and it'll be perfect. The minigame is an interesting way of covering Luna's past when she was trying to escape from Cartoon Cat after he killed her family. I believe this minigame takes place the same night as the 911 call at the start, and thankfully I do believe that the team isn't planning on letting V2 be the final version, so maybe they can remedy a lot of the issues I have with the V3 release. Anyway, I think we've talked enough about the minigame, so let's just head straight into week 2.
The sky is no longer red. Huh? Hey, babe, look! How about we try to rap with that guy over there?
Remember to take a deep breath when the bridge starts to break, boyfriend.
What?
You will understand later. I will be there, watching everything.
Three, two, one, go!
The cutscene was a bit short, but this song is against the man with the upside down face. He is the strangest inclusion, I would say, simply because of how he acts towards Boyfriend. In that short cutscene, he's warning Boyfriend to hold his breath when some bridge breaks, which is extremely odd considering who he is in the Trevor Henderson universe. While the man with the upside down face started off as just another one of Trevor's creatures, he has very quickly gained steam as one of Trevor's more malevolent creatures. The upside down face man, a scavenger entity that feeds off pain and suffering, and seems to favor car crashes, only visible in photos taken at the scene. Its contorted body is meant to provoke unease. Unknown if it is simply drawn to car crashes or if it somehow causes them. Just to show how juxtaposed this version of him is compared to the Henderson mythos, we also have a screenshot from Trevor that reads, "His face is on wrong because he loves perverting our expectations of how a human is put together. He loves grief and pain from roadside accidents, but any awful feelings will do. He's an awful parasite, like a leech or a lamprey. He's physically there, we can't see him though." You might be inclined to think that he doesn't cause or influence events that he appears at all, since he just appears at significant disasters. But Trevor Henderson has confirmed for us that he does, in fact, influence things. Arguments that would have ended become violent fights. A tire that might have held out longer blows out and causes an awful wreck when he was in the back seat. All of this is just to show how awful the creature is compared to his portrayal in this mod. Speaking of the mod, let's take a quick look at his in-game bio. He is known as the patron saint of small tragedies and bad vibes. His physical form exists solely to torment humanity and feed on its negative emotions caused by tragedy he manipulates. The man with the upside-down face and Cartoon Cat are the only Henderson creations that have moral compasses and are not amoral. It is also believed that he is much worse than Cartoon Cat. My only issue with the bio here is that nowhere has Trevor ever said that the man is worse than Cartoon Cat. In fact, he responded to somebody directly asking which one was worse and replied saying Cartoon Cat was. This is also reflected in his Patron Saint series that he did where Cartoon Cat was too evil to even be considered, whereas the man isn't. So despite them being the number 1 and number 2 threats in the entire mythos, it is still clear who is worse.
Okay, I think I've lost him. For now. Look at how far your creations have come, Trevor. I know you're not the one to blame here, but this has gotten way out of hand. And I swear to God, if I find that fucking rapper, I am going to— Hello? I think we got a little lost, so I'm glad to see someone else here. You motherfucker! I wouldn't do that if I were you, kid.
Habría traído un machete.
Be grateful I wouldn't beat up a kid. Otherwise, I would have done something worse to you. Now, what was that for?
Don't act like you don't know anything, slut.
The cartoon cat may not be trying to destroy the fucking world anymore, but the Crippets that arrived during the severe reality warp won't be leaving anytime soon.
Wait, what did you call me?
Daughter, are you here? Let's talk about this at home. I found you.
Huh? Did you run away from home or something? Well, since he's here... Hey! Over here!
What the fuck are you doing?
I just want to talk to your daddy.
That's not my dad! That's the son of a bitch that's been chasing me all day!
I talk to your fucking daddy right now! You still there?
Please stop. If we keep screaming, the three of us are dead.
Okay, I'll stop. But...
Thank you!
But! For trying to kill my boyfriend and calling me a slut, there will be a condition.
I'm screwed.
I'll be watching from here. Good luck.
Three, two, one, go!
Well, I hope you didn't get too attached to the man, because he is now gone forever. Now we get to go over an entirely new cryptid that I briefly talked about in the intro, Siren Head. Siren Head is by far Henderson's most famous work, so before we take a look at why he might have become popular, let's take a look at the in-game bio for him. Siren Head is actually the static form of an unfathomable supernatural entity. He is one of the monsters that came to the real world after the events of That's All, Folks. Luna became his main objective immediately upon arriving in the real world, as if it were a part of his natural instinct. The reason is because he fears her more than Luna fears him. The reason is unknown. Most of the bio here references events that have taken place in the mod, and I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that Cartoon Cat wrapping boyfriend into a dimensional overlap isn't part of Henderson canon, and neither is Luna Henderson. So the bio is entirely inoffensive. So why don't we take a look at who Siren Head is in the official Henderson mythos. I managed to track Siren Head back to August 19th, 2018, where we can already see, from the text included, that Siren Head is not a friendly creature. Far from it. Trevor gave us some fun facts about our living telephone poll on Twitter, stating outright that it hunts humans using its camouflage and recording and playing back sounds that it has heard. Another very important fact that was unveiled through another post is that a group of Siren Heads is called a static. Most of the links and info that I'm trying to follow go to dead Tumblr posts, so I'm unsure how much Siren Head lore got lost there, but there is one more thing that we can learn about Siren Head. Here, Trevor hints at the fact that Cartoon Cat and Siren Head are both creatures of the void, whereas Big Charlie, which is the guy in the top left, that we haven't seen yet, and Longhorse are both saintly entities. Thankfully, someone asked Trevor what being void means in this context, and it seems being void means that they are simply creatures of destruction. Trevor does also mention later in the same thread that this Siren Head is the ambassador for something somewhere else, implying that there are others like him. Or, even more terrifying, Siren Head is a creation that was sent here by some species out in space. Regardless, we should probably go ahead and check on Luna and Boyfriend to see what they're doing.
That was spectacular. Are you ready for the next round? was trying to warn you to! I can't even tell if you're being Socratical or if you're generally too stupid to realize that there's a fucking 40 feet tall siren in front of you! You know, just in case you haven't seen it! Let me go! Kill it! That's Jesus Christ, you've got to be fucking kidding!
3, 2, 1, go!
Intruder detected. Initiating protocol.
Well, it certainly seems like they're getting along well. Unfortunately for her, boyfriend doesn't know much beyond rapping every single entity that he comes across. Fortunately for her, however, it has also almost never gone wrong before. He has a shockingly high success rate. And this song does contain another one of my grudges with the mod. I think their portrayal of him is fine, but I feel like it's an extremely missed opportunity to not make Siren Head's chromatics switch between other characters, such as boyfriend, Luna, girlfriend, and maybe even other base game friend and fucking characters like Daddy Dearest and Mommy Mearest, since they are canonically rock stars and Siren Head would have likely heard their songs before. Even just using one or two of them would have felt much more creative and less like this is just another Henderson creature.
Hey kiddo, everything alright?
Tírate de un puente, escape mierda, conchada estúpida.
I have no idea what you just said. Is that a yes or a no? I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass, okay? Look, I didn't think a rap would cause a fucking apocalypse. That sounds stupid.
It's okay. I'm glad you're sorry at least. I was also being a bit harsh and got carried away. Without Mr. Trevor and the cartoon cat out of its prison, it was too late years ago anyway.
What does that Mr. Trevor guy have to do with this?
Oh boy. I don't want to tell you something as complicated as the FNAF lore, so I'll try to summarize it. I have never been told what relations he had with me. Back to the main point, Trevor's mental health began to deteriorate. With this in mind, the cat took its opportunity and escaped. As Trevor was getting worse, the cat took a hold of the situation and began to hunt our loved ones. Trevor couldn't take it anymore, so he let his creation end his suffering. He was its creator, as the case with the other monsters we've seen today. Only he would know how to stop the cat from its mischief. That's your boyfriend, right? Boyfriend! That bitch won't hold Siren Heads away! Hey! Hey, loser! Just found out your girlfriend is literally a demon, yet you need a 14-year-old human to save your ass. This implies that I'm super cool.
You were the one who offered to help!
Okay, all jokes aside, you survived the impact, but you also almost drowned. She passed out thinking you were dead, so I had to take care of the job.
It's bullshit! She's lying! Don't believe her! So what happens next now that these monsters roam the world, Cryptid Kid?
I'm afraid to know. Also, don't call me that. My name is Luna. But for now, as long as the cartoon cat remains dormant,
there is a possibility that we will eventually learn to live with them.
Just like the people in Trevor's stories did.
For those of you astute enough to have noticed, this is exactly what the man was warning boyfriend about. We now also get confirmation that Cartoon Cat hunted down the entire Henderson family to kill them. Also, this newspaper confirms that Jen's last name is Henderson, for those of you who have been waiting this entire time. Before this newspaper scrolls too far, why don't we read it all the way through? Town shrouded in mystery. Drowned woman found after late night dispute. Crystal Springs, Canada. The picturesque serenity of Crystal Lake was shattered as a vintage car was discovered submerged at the bottom, unveiling a tragic tale of marital discord and unanswered questions. The vehicle, belonging to local residents Trevor and Jen Henderson, has left the community in shock and speculation. On the fateful morning of 12/4/2052, a local fisherman stumbled upon the sunken car, leading to the discovery of the lifeless body of Jen Henderson, formerly known as Jen Woodall in social media circles. The revelation has sent ripples through the town, leaving residents grappling with the sudden loss of a familiar face. Sources close to the investigation suggest that a heated argument between the Hendersons unfolded just a day before the crib discovery. Witnesses report hearing raised voices and emotional exchanges between the couple, culminating in Jen leaving their home with her husband's laptop and work-related materials. The tragic turn of events came to light when Trevor Henderson, husband to the deceased, was awakened by a phone call delivering the devastating news of his wife's fate. Trevor, visibly distraught, claims he had no knowledge of his wife's departure or the events leading up to the tragedy. If you'll remember back to that minigame that we played earlier, it also contained a date, specifically December 6th, 2052 at 2:23 a.m. This means there was only a single day gap between Jess's death and when Cartoon Cat killed Trevor and Luna ran away. Luna already mentioned that Trevor's mental state was getting bad, which is allegedly what causes Jess's death. And that sent Trevor even deeper into his emotional spiral, which allowed the Cartoon Cat to escape and murder Trevor. Cartoon Cat, of course, then went on to rap battle Boyfriend and caused the dimensional rift that allowed more of Trevor's creations to come to life.
I talked to Trevor.
The fuck are you talking about? He's been gone for 10 years.
His soul has not yet found peace. He needs to transfer ownership of his creations to someone. And I'm here for it.
Now, you may be led to believe that this was the ending of the mod, given that the credits rolled and the after credits cutscene implying that there will be a V3 of the mod. However, you would be wrong. There is a week 3, and thankfully it doesn't involve another minigame. You just have to input a code that you get.
Three, two, one, go!
This song is the only song in week 3, and involves a cryptid known as the Fetid King. Trevor posted to Twitter saying that the image appeared on his desktop and his power is flickering. The Fetid King manifests itself as a computer virus, and is the only Henderson cryptid to be any kind of digital entity. He later updated his post saying that after a full day, the image changed and his power was still sketchy, and the image had also renamed itself to kingbirth.jpg. At a glance, you could probably also tell that some of the letters in his post are capitalized, specifically HAILK K, I, N, and G, meaning Hail King. Later in the thread, Trevor screenshots some strange text files that seem to have opened on the infected computer. Which this does explain why when he comes out of the computer in the mod that he says, "All who dare profane the fetid king shall take his place." And as short as that was, that is the entirety of week 3. This doesn't mean that we're actually done yet. Little Nugget did mention that there was some stuff in the extras menu, so why don't we have a look in there?
We're on our way to Grampy's, always such good company. It's the only place to be, over at Grampy's house. Three, two, one, begin.
An old cartoon from the 30s. Toon Cartoon Cat is an unconventional protagonist. He is no role model and goes out of his way to cause trouble for others, often facing the repercussions for it. Our first song of the extras menu is a fantastic song. The art done here is absolutely outstanding, mixing old cartoon art styles with the Friday Night Funkin' art style. And the black and white filter with the film reel markings is just a fantastic touch that really ties the whole song together. This song is far and away the best song in the mod as far as presentation goes. It's so disorienting to go from this song to Silver Edge. It feels like so much more care and effort went into this one song than the entirety of the second week. And thankfully, I think this level of effort will keep up, at least for a little bit.
Three, two, one, go!
This song will randomly become available once one of the other songs are beaten. I just so happened to get it on TuneSwing while I was recording. This is a corrupted version of a song that we haven't seen yet, so we'll get back to it later. But once you beat the song, the game will crash. Upon starting it back up, some text will flash on screen, and I couldn't catch this in my own recording, so I'll just read to you what it says. I awoke in the distant sands, and saw a creature, naked, bestial, gazing at the infinite stars. It turned to me with a face I could not call human. My friend, it spoke, it is dark. Yes, it is, I responded. Does the dark bring you joy, friend? It is cold, but I like the cold. I do as well. We sat, gazing at the fading nebulae, velvet, magenta, red, and green. I turned again for the face I could not call inhuman. My friend, it spoke, it is cold. Yes, it is, I responded. Does the cold bring you joy, friend? It is still, but I like the stillness. I do as well. We saw the sands fall, stars battering against the limits of the sky. There, I took of the bleeding sands. and saw a face staring back at me. My friend, it spoke. I am scared. I am too, I responded. Does the fear give you strength, friend? No. I awoke in the distant sands. It's hard to tell if this is supposed to be a reference to something else, setting up lore for later parts of the mod, or is some part of the Henderson mythos that I missed. The closest thing that I could find is this poem by a guy named Stephen Crane called In the Desert, which, while it feels similar, I don't feel confident enough outright saying that this was the inspiration, so I'll just let you make your own conclusions.
Three, two, one, go!
Huh? Who is this? I don't remember him as part of the cast. This version of Cartoon Cat comes from a video posted on March 20th, 2020, titled Other Friends, but Spinal is Cartoon Cat full original edit. See the description. This song is effectively a shitpost and still manages to be one of the best songs in this mod yet again. Forgive me for not knowing the names of the Steven Universe characters, but all of them are animated wonderfully. Well, except for the one that isn't moving. Cartoon Cat is also extremely expressive and fun to simply watch, and the second set of idle animations that it gets toward the end of the song make it feel so much more dynamic and memorable. And the Cartoon Network logo in the bottom corner of the screen is just the icing on the cake for the style for the entire song. The song also doesn't linger too long, being only 2 minutes long. Also, if you were wondering about the video that this entire song was referencing, it's this one. You can tell it's the right one because the uploader of the video is Kenneth YT, the director of the mod.
Three, two, one, go!
Ghost Pig is inspired by a video released in 2007 titled Body of a Pig. The only thing that is known about this creature is that it prefers to wander around abandoned buildings and has the ability to speak, usually to taunt or frighten its victims. Ghost Pig's goals are unknown. This is definitely one of the stranger songs in the mod. Even as somebody who was at least somewhat familiar with Henderson's catalog, I had no idea what this thing was. Apparently, it's a shitpost of a shitpost. Trevor Henderson saw a video where these guys heard someone say, "I have the body of a pig," and Henderson decided to make a creature based off of it. The post in question does explain some of what's happening, such as the window between them, as well as why he says toward the end of the song, "I have the body of a pig." I still have no idea why Girlfriend is here. Stylistic choice, I guess.
Three, two, one, go!
Lamb is the evolution of Little Nugget, who has been cursed and grew to be hostile. Lamb's intentions are more likely to punish people who have committed crimes and atrocities, which is why he is known as the Holy Ghost. The lamb comes from this post where it is supposedly silently judging some lady. A lot of the info related to the lamb was on a page that has since been taken down, but apparently Trevor was explaining how the lamb uses psychic abilities to attack people and can cause nosebleeds, severe migraines, and hallucinations just by being near it. There was also a length of time where the lamb was captured by a doomsday cult called the Covenant of the Blood of the Lamb. Other than that, there isn't much to go on. Strangely enough, I managed to find the exact background that the song uses, But this isn't one of Trevor's works. This is a fan-made remaster. Not that it matters, I suppose. It's still a Trevor Henderson character.
Three, two, one, go!
Bridgeworms are a species of hostile creatures known to use fake faces to lure their prey in and then devour them. Teenage bridgeworms, like the one we face in Hidden Truths, have spindly arms and an undefined fake face. Their eyes are not able to focus properly yet. The bridgeworm is exactly what it sounds like. It is a big-ass worm that lives under bridges. Its fake face will peel back when the worm goes to attack. It apparently will also leave its nest if prey is hard to come by, and they will hunt at night in abandoned areas to avoid discovery. I'm a bit torn on this song because it feels like it's meshing two creatures into one, that being the actual bridgeworm and a highway worm. It looks like Boyfriend isn't under a bridge, but I guess this could just be the bridgeworm that has come out of its nest because food is scarce. However, bridgeworms aren't infinitely long like this. They're only about 40 feet long. This case feels more fitting of a highway worm, which attacks people on the highway and is a bit bigger than the bridgeworm, being around 65 feet long. The song is fine, but I just feel like the background and general atmosphere could use a little work. Or maybe it's just stylistic choice and I'm being too nitpicky. Either way, let's move on to the next song.
Three, two, one, go!
He is an alternative version of Cartoon Cat. Its design originated from one of Leo Vincible's drawings. Unlike the original counterpart, he prefers to harm his victims indirectly. After being stared at in the eyes for too long, his target will begin to experience symptoms that can lead to hospitalization or, worst case scenario, death. This has to be one of my favorite designs for Cartoon Cat in this entire mod. And just one look at the original artwork will tell you where all of the details came from between Cartoon Cat himself and the strange green walls. That bio does also explain the mechanic for the song, which involves an eyeball meter that's raising the entire time. As for why Boyfriend and Girlfriend look like that, I have no idea. All I can find is this tweet that the official Cartoon Cat Twitter posted saying that the sprites were drawn by Kenneth. Either way, this song is definitely in my top 3 along with Toon Swing and Cartoon Jam with how good it looks. This is also one of the songs that I could see myself adding to my Friday Night Funkin' playlist. Unfortunately, I have to bring you back down for a minute from all of these high highs that we've been getting through the extras menu. This song has an unlock requirement that is actually somewhat difficult to do. It asks you to get 66,666 points on Fright Fest. When I first downloaded this mod and got to this point, my first thought was, I'll just jump into free play and knock that out. But it is somewhat odd that it specifies you have to get 66,666 points and not 66,666 or more. I assumed that it was just a translation error, and then if I got over 66,666 points, that the song would still unlock. So I threw 2 or 3 tries at the song before I managed to finish with more than 66,000 points, and the song still didn't unlock. So my next thought was, oh, they were serious about it being 66,666 on the dot. That's going to be exceptionally difficult to do considering Friday Night Funkin' scoring system only works in multiples of 10. So I went into a song and gauged how many points each rating was worth. I thought maybe a miss had changed from being -10 to some different value, that could get you to the score if you missed the exact amount of notes necessary, but no luck there either. After about an hour of fucking around, I decided to join the Discord server for the mod. I did some poking around and managed to find a lot of people also talking about this issue, but no one had an answer. Eventually, I did actually find someone answering the problem, and they said, do not play free play to unlock Cursed Cat. You can only unlock it by getting enough points during story mode. Which is once again, one of the most baffling fucking decisions I've ever heard of. I thought, surely that isn't right. I played Fright Fest in story mode, got enough points first try, and sure enough, the song unlocked. I couldn't fucking believe it. On my first playthrough, I was convinced that this mod was a joke, and how blatant some of the stupid mistakes were between all the issues with the minigame and now this. But this mod also has some really fucking good moments that I enjoy a lot, such as Toon Swing, Cartoon Jam, Evil Eye, and even the entire first week of the story to a somewhat lesser degree. Either way, you have to play Fright Fest in story mode and get 66,666 points or more to unlock the song. It is possible to get this amount of points by playing either normal or hard, just not on easy. It is also fairly tight to achieve that many points. You can only miss 1 or 2 notes with an accuracy rating of around 95%. So just be prepared that if you do this for yourself, it is kind of tight. Anyway, here's the song that we just unlocked.
Three, two, one, go!
He's a very powerful and creepy entity that got into a flip-a-clip project and possessed a bad cartoon drawing. His real form is so creepy that it would make anyone shit himself. He can also solo every EXE, no matter if their power level is above omnipotence. He can still solo them, lol. It's fairly clear from the art and from the bio, this is meant to be rip of other horror character OCs such as Sonic.exe. There isn't much to say here since it's just making fun of other mods, which at risk of sounding demeaning, I wouldn't be throwing stones if I lived in that glass house, Cartoon Cat devs. Now before I start ranting again, let's move on to the final song.
Three, two, one, go!
Y'all would not understand how I feel.
¿Y por qué lo estás diciendo en inglés?
Shut the fuck up, you Canadian piece of shit!
The bio for this is unfortunately in Spanish, and I still haven't learned Spanish, and the bios on the Cartoon Cat Friday Night Funkin' Wiki are less than helpful. However, I did decide to go ahead and put it into Google Translate just for my own curiosity. Just be aware that it may not be entirely accurate. Help, they took out my kidney. It hurts a lot, please help me. Sons of bitches, I'm bleeding like hell. Please someone help me, no one listens to me. Because I'm a damn cat without a tail crying like a little homeless child. Thank you, Google Translate, for enlightening me to such wonderful words of wisdom. I am truly a changed man. With that, why don't we go ahead and move on to the codes section of the video. There are 2 songs that can be unlocked through the codes, so why don't we just go ahead and take a look at those. I would also like to make it known that these songs are never added to the free play menu or the extras menu. If you wanted to play them again, you would have to remember the codes or look them up each time and put them back in.
3, 2, 1, go!
This song is as straightforward as you think it is. There was an image uploaded to Imgur on May 14th of 2016 saying that they found this thing at a local school. and hopefully you feel old at me saying this thing was born in 2016.
Three, two, one, go!
This entire song is a collab with another mod called Funkin' Physics. The main meatball-looking guy was specifically created for this collab, but the second playable character, the guy holding the magnet, is named Corruptus, and is the main antagonist of the Funkin' Physics mod.
Que deberíamos hacer hoy.
Ya sé, Gombal, vamos a destruirla, cuidado, jajajajaja.
Pero Darwin, nosotros solos no vamos a poder, así que vamos a necesitar a alguien más que nos ayude.
Así que es verdad.
Ya será.
Despite all the complaining and whining that I've been doing, I do think that this mod has potential. I've brought up all of my complaints, and I'm hoping that the devs of the mod can really work all of it out and make the experience feel more polished and smooth than the hills and valleys whiplash that it gave me all the way through my first playthrough. But what do you think? Do you think that I'm being a little bitch who is too nitpicky and I should leave the devs alone? Or do you agree with some of the issues that I've mentioned? Maybe even all of them. Feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I will be back soon with another mod deep dive. Thank you for watching.